No, not now. Can't you see I'm busy with a baby? Don't eat your breakfast.
I did eat my breakfast.
Well, then go on to school. Come on now, Hetty, eat your breakfast. Eat your breakfast.
Why don't you ever listen to me?
All right, talk.
I don't want to go to school.
You told me you don't want to go to school. You told me until my head's ready to spin. Now, your pa says you're going, and that's final.
He ain't my pa.
But he's my husband. And as long as he keeps a roof over your head and clothes on your back and food in your mouth, he can tell you what to do.
You never listen to me. You side with him against me all the time.
And you make trouble all the time. Now, go on, get.
Treats the dog better than he treats me. He comes at me one more time with that belt, and I'm going to tie it around his neck.
You're going to what? You're going to do as you're told.
Okay, here we go. Everybody to school. Go, Frank.
Let's go.
Well, this is the big day, isn't it? First day of school. And in a new schoolhouse. Well, actually, this is just a temporary one. We're going to be building the new one pretty soon. From now on, you're going to be doing your learning right here. I want you to meet Mrs. M.K. Curtis. I'd say she's the social conscience of Virginia City. And we all owe a special thanks to her for putting the idea of the school into my head and then convincing me that it had been my idea all along.
You'd have come to it, Ben. It didn't take much besides common sense.
And now I want you to meet your new teacher, Dr. Lyman. Probably the best educated man in this part of the world.
You said you wanted the boy, Ben. I don't know why. You'll never pound anything into his head.
Good, I think you better take your seat with the others. Tom, thanks for bringing Billy in.
He's not my boy. He's my wife's. If he was mine and acted the way he does, he wouldn't be able to walk, let alone sit down.
Well, I think this school offers everybody a big opportunity. Some of you may grow up to be smarter than we are.
Ben, if you go on talking much longer, school will be over for the day.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Well, Doc, it's all yours.
Thank you, Ben.
You'd better keep a close eye on them, Ben. They look like a difficult group to handle.
I'll watch them closely.
You'll see that you do. I'm afraid it's going to take much more than your speeches to make a real school out of this place.
Tilda, you're an amazing woman. Here you are with all the money in the world, so you shouldn't have to worry about anything, and yet you keep worrying about other people.
That's probably because I can remember what it was like when we first came here, before my husband made his strike. It was a fight. It was a scramble just to stay alive. I don't think education cures all the world's ills, but I do think it helps.
Yeah.
Good day, Ben. All right, Louise.
They build a fire in the middle of the floor. I give it back to you. It's all yours. Buddy? Long walk to school. Hop on, I'll give you a ride.
I want to ride.
You better. You're already late.
I ain't going to school.
You want to bet? Come Let's go in. All right, boys. You two.
Inside. Come on, let's go.
By the shores of Gitchigumi, by the shining big sea water, stood the white wigwam of Nokomis.
Continue, Ted.
I don't like reading, and even if I did, it wouldn't be about Indians. My pa don't like 'em either.
Said your pa ain't going to school, you are. You do what you told her, right?
There the wrinkled old Nokomis nursed the little Hiawatha.
Yep. Here we are, Billy. No charge for the ride. Well, come on. You gonna get all by yourself, or you gonna do it my way?
Very good, Ted. Deborah, do you know what Longfellow is trying to show us?
That Indians have babies, so does everybody else.
Didn't want to spoil your attendance record, Doc. It was one that's... Sorry you were late.
I wasn't late.
Come on.
I wouldn't be here at all, but this horse outrun me.
Yeah, well, that's true. Sit down. I know, you gotta make up for lost time.
Deborah, would you please pass Billy the book? Billy, the class has been reading parts of Longfellow's poem, Hiawatha. I'm sure you'd like to take your turn. Well, Billy, I'm sure you must have learned to read at the Virginia City School.
I wasn't there very much. They didn't send a posse after me.
Billy, I thought that we'd have a recess after you finished reading. But I guess the class will just have to wait for you to make up your mind. Candy, if you boys would like to take a recess, I think it'll be all right. This may take a little time.
All right, Doc. We'll be right outside if you need us.
Come on, read, will ya? My feet are falling asleep from sitting.
You keep out of this, you little pipsqueak.
No need to rush. Let Billy take all the time he needs. We missed recess. I'm sure the class won't mind going without lunch.
Come on, read it. It ain't gonna hurt you. Wake up, Billy, will ya? Come on, get it over with.
Come on, my stomach's rumbling.
All right, Doc. You're smart. Or you think you are.
I suggest you read the short passage on page 43. Billy, would you please stand?
Homeward went Hiawatha. Pleasant was the landscape around him. Pleasant was the air above him. For the bitterness of anger had departed wholly from him.
Excellent, Billy. Particularly fitting.
That's about an Indian, not me.
Perhaps, in time, you'll be as bright as an Indian.
Billy, apologize.
You're real funny, aren't you, Doc? Making me look like a nothing.
That wasn't the purpose, Billy.
Yeah, well, you just go ahead and laugh. The school's gonna need another school teacher fast.
Billy.
Because you aren't gonna be around.
You ain't threatening nobody, Billy.
I don't make threats.
Get your hat and get on home.
I heard all I want to hear about that school.
All I said was they don't teach you nothing you can use.
If they don't teach you nothing else, you'll learn to speak when you're spoken to, and that'll be a big help.
Big words, that's all they throw at you. I don't need big words. I want to be a blacksmith. I don't care what you or anybody else says. I ain't going to school no more.
There's only one language you understand. Let go. Put that gun away.
You hit me for the last time. You make one move and I'll put a bullet in you.
Matty, my friend, Virginia City will never be the Athens of the New World. Based on my experience of today, in a few short months, the alphabet will disappear completely.
Oh, Doc, most of those kids, they've never been to school before. Well, you can't expect them to sit still and learn all at once now, can you?
Matty, let us face an unpleasant truth. I have an unparalleled record of failure. Ranching, mining, even dentistry. And now I can add to the list school teaching.
Oh, no, come on, Doc, that's not true. You're a real smart man. Well, listen, Doc, you know that most everybody in this town comes to you asking for advice. There's Judge Morgan, the sheriff.
Yeah, I seem to have all the answers for everyone, except myself. Yeah, but don't take my word for it. There are certified witnesses.
Doc.
Oh, you better give me another one. It may dull the pain a bit. Ben, I hereby tender my resignation as headmaster of the Ponderosa Preparatory School, and that will save you the embarrassment of firing me.
Doc, nobody's firing you. I know you're discouraged, but I sure would like you to stay on as teacher.
Ben, I can't handle it. That Burgess boy and his friends, they'll turn the place into a shambles daily.
There won't be any more trouble with the students, big or little.
I didn't realize the Cartwright reputation included miracles.
This is one of the easier ones. Will you stay on, Doc?
It's a crime to ruin a consistent record like mine. Never once sullied by success. But if you want me to, I'll stay.
I want you to. I'll see you in the morning then. Good night, Matty.
Matty, May I have a nightcap? I'll need a good night's sleep.
Break it up! Break it up, you two! Now look, if you want to finish this fight, there's a big street outside.
He called me a thief.
Yeah, well, nobody's invented another name for it.
Gentlemen, let's pretend to be civilized. What seems to be the trouble?
The trouble is he don't want to believe what is written down legal in black and white.
That's not true. My father wanted me to have the lucky caller.
Easy. All right, now, one at a time. Dick, what is the earth-shaking problem?
Well, Doc, a few months ago, my father wrote me. He knew he was pretty sick. He wanted me to come back here and take things over for him. When I got to town, he was already dead. And Billings here's walking around with a bill of sale for the Lucky Calder for $5,000.
That's right, because I worked hard for the old man. And that's why he sold me the Lucky Calder mine. He knew this kid had run it into nothing.
That's not true. My father wanted me to have the Lucky Calder.
Suppose we take a look at the letter and the bill of sale, hmm?
You bet. All proper, notarized and everything. Take a look at that.
Go ahead and read it out loud, Doc. I want everybody to know what a thief he is.
In the short time the Lord has allotted me, I hope we can patch up our differences of the past. If you have gotten over all those wild, half-baked ideas, and if you can prove to me you have finally grown into a man, perhaps you can take your place running the Lucky Calder, your father. There are a great many ifs in this letter. Your father must have changed his mind. Calder, I'm sorry, but the bill of sale is legal.
Figures. You're as crooked as everybody else in Virginia City. And what could I expect from a drunk?
The judgment was sober.
Doc, for your own good, stay out of my way. Don't you ever come near me again.
Doc, do I have my bill of sale back?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was studying it. Matty?
Yeah, Doc.
Could I have a second nightcap? This is not one of my better days.
Come on, you two. Hey, come on, break it up. Sit down. Sit down over there. Doc's a half an hour late. We ain't gonna be able to keep them kids quite long.
Well, if he doesn't get here in the next 10, 15 minutes, we'll just send him home, that's all. Hey, where's the doc? Couldn't you find him?
He's dead. They found him about 5 miles from here in Almond Creek. Somebody shot him. Sheriff has at least a dozen of us out trying to round up people who might know something that'll help. I'm here, Joe Cartwright's over at Chip Lang's. The sheriff just wants to see Billy, that's all.
Got to tell him, Nora. Wouldn't be right not to tell him.
Well, it's for the best, I guess.
That boy's a bad one. I've said it time and again, he's gonna come to no good.
Can you tell me where I might find him?
Got no idea. But I can tell you what he done last night. He threatened to shoot me. Put a bullet in me. In my own house with my own gun.
Generally, it takes two to start an argument. What was the fight about?
There was no fight. He's just mean.
Do you have any idea where he might be?
Nope. But I ain't finished telling you what he did. He sneaked back last night and took the best horse and the best saddle on this place. Stole them from his own family.
What about his friends? Is there anyone special he hangs out with?
Well, Chip Lang and that Henry boy, they's always underfoot.
Wanted to take him to hunt or to fish. Anything, so long as it didn't have anything to do with work.
Thank you.
Does the law figure then that Billy killed that teacher? Is that the way of it?
It's gotta be. He threatened to shoot me, didn't he?
Nothing's settled yet, Mrs. Burgess. The sheriff wants to talk to a lot of people, not just Billy.
He left home last night. They haven't seen him since. He had a fight with his old man. Stole his rifle.
I went over to Chip Lang's. They haven't seen him in about a week.
We better go to Jeff Henry's.
Now, let's hit it. Isn't that Jeff Henry?
Yeah.
Billy? Billy!
This all you brought?
That's all I could get without cleaning out the cupboards. I got some news, too. Doc Lyman was killed. Bushwhacked.
Yeah, so?
That's all I know.
You don't know who did it?
Not that I heard. Posse's out riding, though. Hunting.
Let him. Enough grub to get me to Sacramento, that's all I care.
Hey, well, what are you gonna do when you get there?
Lots of things. Cowhand, maybe? Or a gunfighter?
You gotta be awful fast to be a gunfighter.
I am fast. The more I think about it, better I like it. People don't yell at you when you're a gunfighter. They say, yes, sir. Because they're scared not to.
You're not going anywhere for a while,
Take it easy. Oh, come on, Billy. Nobody's gonna hurt you. Come on.
Howdy, Ben.
What? What I heard just now true? You and Candy brought Billy Burgess in?
Yeah, he was on his way to Sacramento.
And he just confessed to the killing of Doc Lyman. And several other killings that have been unsolved around here for the last 6 months. There was a Patty Wren case, dance hall girl, there's that feed salesman that disappeared about 6 months ago, never heard from. And I asked this kid, why did he do it? And he said, I just need some more spending money. I explained to him what he was getting himself into. And he said, I don't care. He just insisted on confessing in front of witnesses. And, of course, the other prisoner listened too. Here's the confession.
Big talker. You done everything you confessed to. You'd have to be a lot older than you look.
I done what I said I done. All of it.
I might believe you, but you could have trouble convincing a jury.
They'll believe me.
They might at that.
Mind if I talk to you?
By all means, go ahead. You might find something I missed.
Don't let him scare you, kid. He ain't a lawyer nor a sheriff. He's just a Cartwright.
Now you shut up, Sully. Call me if you need me, Ben.
Billy? Mind squinching over a bit so I can sit down? You sure are in somewhat of a mess. You killed quite a few people.
What difference does it make? I don't keep score.
There's a couple of things I'd like to check on here, something you wrote here. This dance hall girl with the silver dollar and the feed salesman you murdered.
What were the names again?
I don't remember.
You don't remember the names of the people you killed?
Look, I don't worry about people's names. They're all the same, rotten.
You realize you're probably the most important criminal in Virginia City right now?
No one else in Virginia City killed 3 people. Maybe years ago, but not now. People will remember Billy Burgess.
For how long?
Doesn't matter.
What'd you do with the money that you stole?
I spent it on a lot of things.
What kind of things?
What difference does it make?
It says here that you followed Doc Lyman to Albert Creek and you murdered him there. What time was that?
Midnight. Or later.
Are you in Virginia City at midnight?
Sure, lots of times. Wasn't hard sneaking out when the folks went to sleep.
Did anyone see you? Anyone at all?
Mm-mm. Nobody. I stayed clean out of sight.
But yet you say you saw the doc come out of the saloon and go home.
Followed him, didn't I?
Well, you say you did.
I did. And I shot him.
Why?
'Cause I wanted to. 'Cause he tried to make me look like a fool.
And these other things. You did them too.
I sure did.
Roy?
Coming.
I think you better get over to Bert Osgood's office. Tell him I'd like him to take on the Burgess boys' defense.
What'd he tell you?
Joseph, that boy needs the best lawyer in town.
Save your time and your money, Ben. There isn't going to be any trial.
Tilda, you're a remarkable woman. And I can't begin to add up what Virginia City owes you. But you can be wrong.
I must admit you disappoint me, Ben. I had thought you'd be the one man who would understand.
Understand what?
That you don't risk sending a boy who's underage to the gallows. You just don't take a boy who has been beaten and mistreated ever since he was an infant and force him to stand trial for something over which he had no control.
Or had nothing to do with.
That's beside the point.
Is it?
I think it is. Judge Rogers, you and I have thought this out very carefully, haven't we?
What we're doing is a little unusual, but Matilda has convinced me it's the humanitarian thing to do.
Of course it is. What chance would that boy stand at a trial with his reputation? And with the way everybody felt about Doc Lyman?
Now it's the humanitarian view. We just railroad the boy out of town quietly.
That's a very cruel thing to say, Ben Cartwright. Nobody is going to railroad anybody. There will be a closed hearing tomorrow morning. And Judge Rogers will turn the boy over to the warden of the Nevada State Penitentiary, not as a prisoner, but in the warden's custody. He will live with the warden until he is grown. And then, if he is a useful member of society, the judge will set him free. Now, what is so terrible about that?
Oh, it sounds perfectly marvelous. There's just one question. What if the boy is innocent?
Innocent? Ben, there's a signed confession admitting 3 murders.
And despite that confession, Hoss and Little Joe and I are working day and night trying to prove it is not true.
If the boy is innocent, which is very doubtful, he'll have ample time to prove it when he's grown.
Meanwhile, we just sweep the whole mess under the rug. Matilda, how'd you like to be that boy's age right now? And look forward to living for years under the stigma of murder?
I'd find it easier to live with than hanging.
Would you? I wonder. I'd sure hate to be Billy Burgess, set free your way.
I'm sorry you don't agree with us, Ben. There will not be a trial. The closed hearing will be tomorrow morning.
I just don't know how Carson City is going to look at this.
What's Carson City got to do with it?
Well, I'm sending a wire to the state's attorney in Carson City, requesting that he assign a new judge to this case. I don't think he'd approve the way you and Mrs. Curtis are handling it.
Ben, we're old friends. We can thrash this out.
Then make your ruling now, Judge. Either it's a real trial, or I send that wire.
This confession is of my own free will, signed, William Burgess.
Order, please.
Your Honor, this confession is ridiculous. The boy didn't know what he was signing.
Are you trying to say that Sheriff Coffey tricked the boy into signing the confession?
No, Your Honor. No, I'm only saying that I think there may have been other reasons for his signing it. Well, he's confessed to everything but the killing of Joaquin Murrieta.
Mr. Osgood, I don't like your implication. No sheriff in Virginia City has ever had a finer reputation for honesty than Roy Coffey.
Your Honor, I move that the boy's full confession be accepted in evidence.
So ruled. You may step down, Roy.
Right. Mr. Burgess, your son, your adopted son, is admitted to 3 cold-blooded murders on the nights of February 17th, April 12th, and April 20th. Now, Mr. Burgess, did you see the boy on any of these nights?
Not after supper. He never used the place except to eat. It caused trouble.
Objection, Your Honor. That's a matter of opinion.
Strike it from the record.
I don't know the law, Your Honor, but I know how bad when I see him.
Object.
Sustained.
Mr. Burgess, on the night the murder of Randall Timon occurred, wasn't there a bitter argument between you and Billy?
With him around, there was always an argument. That night, he threatened to shoot me.
Threatened you? Wasn't he only trying to protect himself?
Not the way I saw it, and I was there.
Didn't Billy tell you that night that he's going away for good? That he's going to California? And isn't that the only reason he was hiding out when the sheriff's men found him?
That's his excuse. It doesn't seem to be helping him much.
Mr. Cartwright, would you say that Billy Burgess was a model student at the Ponderosa School?
Oh, he wasn't much different than the rest of the youngsters. It's sort of hard to talk a young fellow like that into liking school.
You mean he was no different from any of the others?
Well, he's a little bigger, maybe a little noisier.
Mr. Cartwright, did any of the other students threaten the teacher?
No.
You did hear the threat. You reported to the sheriff, didn't you?
Mr. Cartwright. Come inside, it's very important.
Well, but...
Please answer the question yes or no.
Answer the question, Mr. Cartwright.
Well, yes, but...
That's all. Thank you, Mr. Cartwright. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
What is it?
I think we finally got something. You know Matty over at the Silver Dollar Saloon? Yeah? He told us that Dick Calder had a big argument with Doc the night before the murder. Calder was real mad, told Doc to stay away or else.
Let's go see him.
Dick Coulter here.
He's here, if you want to call it that. Ricardo! Signor Ricardo!
Ben! Oh, you see, Inez, I told you Providence would provide us. And I found us another little bottle of whiskey, too.
I don't care about whiskey. I want horses so we can get out of here.
Ben, I've disappointed the little lady. And whiskey's always been a little bit of that problem.
Dick, when was the last time you saw Doc Lyman?
I haven't seen him since the night he delivered his brilliant judgment on the lucky Coulter.
You haven't seen him since then?
That would have been a little bit of a miracle, Ben. You see, immediately following my humiliating defeat, Inez and I came back here to do us a little bit of celebrating. The horses, they didn't have the same idea. They went back to the livery stable.
Ay, que stupido. You rent cheap horses.
Oh.
You've both been here since the night of that argument?
By no choice of mine. As you can see, I'm fast approaching a famine. What do you want to know about Doc Lyman for?
No reason now. We'll have the livery stable send you a couple of fresh horses.
Have them send me out a few bottles, too, because I'm going to need it.
Gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
How do you find?
We find the defendant guilty.
Well, I wanted to be a big man. I guess I am. I never killed Doc Lyman, Mr. Cartwright. Or anybody else.
Well, I never suspected you did. I ought to whip you within an inch of your life. And I still may.
Come in, Ben. I thought it would be you. Have you come to ease your conscience?
Matilda, I need your help.
Now you need my help.
Yes.
Now when it's too late.
I just got through talking with Roy Coffey and Judge Rogers. We're going to send a wire to the governor, asking for a stay until we get new evidence.
What new evidence?
The boy is innocent, Matilda. We'll find new evidence.
You still want to gamble with that boy's life, don't you, Ben? One thing that you could always say about my husband. When he sat down to play poker, he knew what the odds were.
May I have permission to use your name? It'll add weight with the governor.
No. I won't do it for you. But I will do it for the boy. I don't know how much good it will do.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for you, Ben. You're going to have to live with this for a long time. I know I won't be able to sleep nights, and it wasn't my decision. It was yours. Come in.
Oh, hello, Ben. I hate to bother you, Miss Curtis, but I'm going to have that check for the Lucky Coulter. My stage leaves in about 10 minutes.
Oh, Oh, yes, Walt, I'm sorry. My mind has been on other things. I'll get it for you. Here it is. $10,000.
And here's the bill of sale made over to you, Mrs. Curtis.
Thank you. And good luck to you in California.
Thank you very much. Bye, Ben.
Have a good trip. Why would he sell you the Lucky Colt for $10,000? He could get 40 or 50,000 for it.
Well, I don't see that that's any of your business, Ben.
Let me see that bill of sale.
Really, I'm quite capable of handling my
May
own
I see it, please?
It's all signed and legal and notarized by Merv Travis.
Did Lucy Travers have a baby?
In early January. Ben, a boy's life is at stake.
When?
It was the 10th of January. I remember because that's my birthday, too. She was very close to death. Merv never left her side. You'd better send that wire. There won't be time for an answer.
I'd have to send that wire.
Oh, Ben. Did you come see me off?
Yeah, in a manner of speaking, I suppose I did. Driver, Mr. Billings' luggage, would you set it down, please?
Well, leave it where it is, driver. What do you think you're doing, Ben?
Well, I've just been looking at the Lucky Colt I bill of sale. It's kind of unusual. According to the date, January 10th. It was signed by the notary on a day when he wasn't even around.
Merv Travers signed it, and he put his seal on it.
No, he didn't. You see, on the day that you say he signed it, Merv was taking care of his sick wife. Well, you can easily check up on that. Just ask Merv.
Well, I'm going to miss my stage, Ben.
Doc Lyman smelled something funny, too, and checked up on you. Found out that old man Coda's signature is a forgery, too. Is that why you killed Doc Lyman?
That's ridiculous, Ben. Don't move, Ben. Get back.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please, let me go.
Drop your gun.
No. Please, let me go. I don't want to hell with you. Get off. Get off.
Do as he says.
Okay, recess is over. Come on, kids. I gotta learn you some grammar. Come on.
Oh, sure.
The new teacher seems quite capable.
Yes, as a matter of fact, size and brawn were taken into consideration for the job. Well, Billy, everything go all right?
Fine.
Good.
Jeff's pa makes you work pretty hard, but I like living there.
Good.
Thanks for arranging it, Mr. Cartwright.
He wanted you. Asked for you. You better get in there before it's too late. That horse is a rough headmaster.
You were lucky, Ben. You took a big chance.
Yeah. I'd do it all over again if I had to.
I'm sure you would.
Now, we're not really in any argument. We both want the same thing. Protection for the youngsters from Those horrible adult laws and protection for their rights, too.
That's a large order.
Yeah, I suppose it is. Oh, I guess we won't see it in our time. Maybe someday. And people are too smart not to change.